No. Marco is immediately the Ab Sport line Lamborghini limping in, presumably the puncture. Marco Mappelli handed over to Kelvin van der Linde, and it has got a long way to go. Left rear puncture. So absolutely beguiling, but they had gone so well. But this is typical of what you get in the Nurburgring 24 hours.
You heard the voice there of Peter Snowden, who's joined us as well. Pretty hectic start as we expected. The drivers have had to be on their mettle, and not what you want. Abt are a very good team, very experienced team. There's nothing you can do for this. Now you've just got to wait. And it's as frustrating for the team as this will be for the driver, Peter.
Oh, it's frightening. That's the problem. It is exactly that. It's frightening because one side of it, it's a balance all the time. You want to keep the car in one piece, get it back. You don't want to damage the car anymore, but you've got to keep out of the way of all that traffic all the way round.
Traffic, there was comments about whether Marcello was doing better in the traffic or Mauro Engel. But may I just say, my chapeau is fully off for David Pittard. Brilliant start. Kept it clean, kept it tidy, and worked his way to the front. And this is for a driver who should be and is now ranked with the very top GT drivers.
Absolutely.
But a few years ago, he was the wannabe. He was the guy, the tyro, working his way up, and he's done so well.
What is it that allows a driver to make that switch? Is it self-confidence, Peter? Do you need someone once in a while to come and pat you on the back and say you are as good as these guys? Or is it literally, it's a results-based game, is it literally just what the end result sheet says?
It's a balance of all those things. You certainly do. You don't need platitudes, but because there's no escaping the stopwatch in this place. You're only as good as your last time, etc., etc. But and he said, I recognise that voice. You'd cover that for Radio Le Mans. Yes, we do. And he said, you nicknamed me Pitbull. It was that awkward moment of and I said, is that okay? He says, I love it. There was another word in between.
There was.
And, yeah, absolutely. And he said, all my mates love it. They all think it's a hashtag thing now. I thought, well, there we go. Then what do you think Radio Le Mans?
It's a tradition in long distance racing, 3 hours, 6 hours, whatever. Don't throw it away at the first corner, but that in the tiny bit of the Grand Prix loop they use for the NLS races, he would attack and gain 4 or 5 positions, and that was really race made. So he pushed, he tried, and he's absolutely there in his own right. He is being slightly caught by Raffaele Marcello.
It's the number 47 GR Supra, the blue car that went around. Hopefully no damage there as he rejoins. And the Ab Sportsline black number 27 car, this is your worst nightmare. So far from home, he's done his best there, but sometimes you can't help it. And Van der Linde, he's got the flap, and it's not the foxtail. That is flailing rubber at the left rear.
I'll tell you what else it is, John. It's also the danger zone, because that's now, yes, he can listen. He can hear it. He can hear it over our microphones from outside, and we're in the commentary box over the pit lane. He's got the bulk. He's still got half the Dottingerhoer to go. He's on the kink now.
Just a few moments ago, and still, I mean, this is just painful, isn't it, for the team? I suspect that car will actually go into the garage. He's at one of the most dangerous places now because he can't get off the racing line as he comes up to Tiergarten, that uphill S's after the long run.
This is the issue now, yeah. Staying on the left is actually fine. It's that crossover, as you're saying, John.
Correct.
Over to the race line there. And that, do I go for it, do I not? And just bear in mind, the mirrors on these things, they're not much use apart from shaving, really. There's not a lot to see to move across in a GT3 car these days. And it's like, do I go for it, do I not? And of course you're going so much slower. Now, Van der Linde keeping it all the way into the bit of spare road there.
Now it's across to the right.
But he's keeping it, yeah, he's got it across.
Listen.
But this there is where the marshals had to really help. They had to say it's clear, because with the slope coming into Hohenrhein, you cannot see a car if it's very far.
Brilliant marshalling, brilliant.
You could actually hear, you'll hear it again on the next camera if there's no cars coming through, the outside of the tyre carcass. This is no slight on the tyre manufacturer. It just is going to happen. I mean, what's he driven? He's driven 4 miles on that, maybe a little bit more. He's into the pit lane. He's at the pit lane entry. White flags being shown behind him. That doesn't mean he's on his last lap. For those of you now restored to full viewing joy in the US, it is a slow car on the track, but you knew that already. Hello to everybody on the Discard group. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for helping to spread the word to the US fan base. I mean, that's already cost him the better part of a lap just coming back, Peter, at a slow speed.
Most certainly. But why is the white flag kept going to the pit lane? Because you've got that 60k speed limit.
Yeah.
Other people are going to come in and dive in and hit that button, and all of a sudden there's a black Lamborghini sitting there.
Onto the trolley dollies, they're going in to the pit lane, and he's been a bit unlucky there in the way that the rubber hasn't, in fact, come off the rim.